Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today as we go back to the underbelly, because the underbelly is a place that I think we're gonna be able to find some place to sleep. Really, that's all we're trying to do. Last episode we talked to probably not the last, but one of the last people that we could have talked to in the Circus Manor, or Circus Minor, that's how it goes. And we came down here, and this place is very noisy. I lowered the volume a little bit to make sure it doesn't actually affect our Let's Play. We got this guy, so we talked to this guy over here, and they're both constructs. Cleaners, check the steam vent. And this guy is the master... I don't know... Oh, wait a minute! What? This looks like a Voyager or like a space Voyager. What's the word? Not Voyager. What's the word? Space shuttle, doesn't it? But it probably isn't. This is just a. Is this a repurposed furnace and they just turn on the engines? I think that's what it is. This ancient ship is embedded in the rock, and only its lower portion is visible here. The workers are using its roaring engines as a smelting furnace. That probably isn't very effective. But sure, whatever. Let's have a chat here with Master... What? I don't know his name. Master Foreman, yeah. The construct looms over you, frozen in mid-step. Its heavy limbs and barreled body have been recently polished by careful hands, but the joints themselves are completely fused. This creature hasn't moved in a long time. It studies you with eyes made of swirling orange fire. As with the other construct, you feel the bubbling sensation in your mind. This construct's thoughts are likewise unreadable. Late for your first shift, Synthsmith, it growls. Grab a station and a hammer, and damn well get to work. Get to work, yeah. After an hour of work... Oh no, wait a minute, that was me getting to work. Sure, I thought I was telling to, Oh, sure, that's totally fine. Let's see what happens. So... I thought I was saying that. Oh boy, I thought like he was talking to another guy, and I was just gonna, you know, empathize with him because I was gonna agree with his attitude and mimic, basically. That was, well, yeah, but I got to work, apparently. After an hour of work, the Master Foreman bellows you back over. You go, stretching your aching arms. They feel somewhat stronger than before. I wonder if they do. They do, actually! Whoa. One might permanently... Oh my god, awesome. Supervisor tells me you're not the synthsmith he hired, he says. But I gave you some work to do and you damn well got to it. I respect that. But we only take on experienced synthsmiths here. Its fiery eyes flare. Now, I don't want you thinking we let people work for free. I had the supervisor leave you some shins for that hour of work. Take it. Okay, thank you very much. 20 shins. That's not really a whole lot. Really, the extra strength is what I like the most. Now, why are you actually here? Out with it! Why are you so loud? Let's go with that. I think that would fit my character. Maybe you haven't noticed, the construct says sourly, but it's noisy down here. A foreman who can't shout can't be heard. This is the volume of leadership. So, who are you? I am the Master Foreman, the construct declares. Its tone puts you in the mind of someone speaking while saluting. The mind and the will behind the city you see today. Really? The city... What? Are these guys... Is it... I would like to know a little bit more about the underbelly, but you can't move, can you? No, and I don't need to, it says, eyes flashing. The passing worker gives you a look for triggering what is apparently a familiar story. Right. Once we foremen were the tools of the cartographers and their vast web of machine intelligence, submerged in the song of their will. Of their will, okay, not song of their will. We worked with thoughtless joy. Its voice is soft, tinged with synthetic awe. Then one day, the song fell silent and our bodies froze where they stand even now. Some of us lost our faith in those first few centuries, it growls. Some of us thought that the cartographers were punishing us, or had abandoned us. Only I saw their absence for what it was. It was a gift of free will. We were their tools no longer. We were our own masters, freed from the chains of thoughtless motion, free to imagine our future. And so we did, for millennia. Who were these cartographers? We don't know, it admits. The most we know of them is their names in the code, and the vessels we were building for them that they never claimed. Our creation came at their order. but we have never known their faces, only their song. This is probably another world, then. While the others dithered and wailed, I bent my mind to the future. It continues. I analyzed the work we had done for the cartographers. To my shame, I found flaws in the process. I removed them. Its eyes burned brighter. For the next cluster of centuries, I studied the vast catalog of known technology and Numenera in my mind and strung them together, creating new inventions for the day when the cartographers returned and reactivated us. But that day never came. But humans eventually did. Yes. And though you are flawed and fragile, you made perfect tools, just as we had once been. Your people found us, and the era of my greatest work began. They asked us to help them raise this city until it cast all others in shadow, to cobble their artifacts and their trinkets into grand devices that would power every corner and make them safe from their enemies. And I told them, I had a plan. You see the fruit of our mighty effort all around you. Well, I may have some business for you. But then, I guess. Let's go with that before I lose that line. You need work done? If it can be built, fixed, or solved, you've come to the right place, the construct says. Yeah, I need advice on repairing a crystalline device in the reef. Consultation, huh? Well, tell you what, bring me a piece of the device to examine, and I'll count the examination as payment for advice rendered. Deal? You're going to help me for free? A short consultation isn't worth the cost of an invoice. Bring the shard or don't, I'm busy here. Okay, then the shard is here. It says, scanning the shard. Micro fissures saturated with organic fluid. This device of yours is alive. Replacement crystals need to be grown, not made. The construct eye light swivels from you, leaving you and the shard in the dark. Can't help you more than that. Growing crystals isn't my business, but those ruined diggers in the Order of Truth might be able to tell you more. You'll find them in Government Square up the ladder to the left. Good luck. Huh. Okay, let's talk business again then. Glad to. Out with it. Yeah, I don't need anything for right now. I thought maybe I'd need it. You don't seem to respect your human co-workers or workers very much. Wrong. I pay them well and design safety features to lower the acceptable worker loss threshold. I treat them better than they deserve. One of the passing workers roll his eyes. They're lazy. They demand time for sleeping, eating, fornicating, and excreting, or pooping, and they refuse to tell me when each activity occurs. They are disorganized. I would replace them with automatons in a second if I had the proper materials. I'm sure they would actually enjoy that, maybe. I don't know. Have all the time for all the excreting and all that sort of stuff. Tell me about the other constructs. Can't spend much time chatting, it says, but lowers its voice. You've shown an interest in us, and I appreciate that. The truth is that there are no other foremen. Not really. Yes, there are, says Master Artisan over there. Cheerfully from across the manufactory. No, there aren't, the Master Foreman shouts. Oh, the two of you always bicker like this? The Artisan is a weaker mind, tarnished by our long years in the dark, it says. It does nothing but ridicule my great work. The truth is that we were once a single mind, but when the cartographers left us, our minds settled into different containers, pools, if you will, and while theirs grew stagnant and self-indulgent, mine remained clean, untainted, pure. Ignoring the snort from the distant Artisan, the Master Foreman continues. While the years poured past, I felt the slow ruin of the city the cartographers had left behind. It haunted me, and so I vowed to undo the damage that time had done. I noticed that you haven't spoken much about the third foreman, the one with no legs. I didn't see him. How does my character know that? Did I see him? Ah, there's a reason for that. I focus my intelligence on the design of everything from useful devices to structures that will last 1,000 generations. The Master Artisan contributes at least, even if it prefers focusing on delicately etched flowers, base aesthetics. And a good thing too, calls Artisan, otherwise sagas would look like a stack of unpolished metal cubes. Well, wouldn't that look pretty itself? Yeah, I might prefer that. So would I, the construct says and lowers its voice, though I'm not against an arc or two. Very structurally sound, an arc. Yes, they are, actually. They are in that. At first, the third one in our little group helped with the great endeavor. Our workers scavenged pipes from the ruins beneath the city, harnessed the power in the cartographer vessels, and redirected it through Saga's cliffs. But in the centuries since, the other foreman had grown doubtful. Not useful doubt, mind you. Not the kind that leads to more efficient designs and processes. No. The other foreman has existential doubt. It wonders why we are alive, as if we are actually alive. And it has become obsessed with the idea of producing offspring to the point of dismantling itself to do so. Huh. Sentimental drivel, bordering on perversion. I can understand that, but then again, what's wrong with the crippled foreman? Oh no, yeah. So, farewell, I guess. Yes, stay clear of the forge. So we got a supervisor over here. Do you talk? Probably not. The fires are running hot, just as the master likes it. Stokers, reset the staging doors. Okay, so we got a bunch. Where's the broken foreman? Oh, over there. We got a guy called Tarnish. Sure, I like that thing over there. The elderly man stares vacantly at a distant wall, muttering under his breath. His hands flex on the air, twisting and tweaking, as if he is repairing a machine only he can see. He jumps when you draw in a... excuse the hiccup. He jumps when you draw in a breath to speak. Yeah? What? He says. His eyes rove past you, halt, then return to focus on your face with some effort. Ain't you a quiet one? He says cheerfully. The underforeman, huh? The underforeman makes more noise than you. We should hang chimes from your ears and keep you from surprising people. What do you need? What's a foreman? Well, they are, he says, flapping his hand about the cavernous foundry. The constructs. They're frozen in their tracks, but they run this place together. What do you do here? I take care of my master, he says simply. The underforeman. There used to be more of us when he was making things, but when he lost interest, the master foreman. What? He jerks a yellow thumb at the construct at the center of the chamber. The master foreman hired them all, offered them more. Happened a while back, but I don't forget a slight. Tarnish spits on the ground. He's a good foreman, he thinks, maybe the best, if he didn't have this full idea in his head. Huh, he's talking about that guy. He hired these guys? Huh. So, how long have you worked with a foreman? Couldn't say, he says, his brow furrows. On our first day, I'd already met my wife, but she was still married to... what's his name? With a fishhook tattoo? Oh, fishhook tattoo? That's a different one then. And I hadn't lost the finger and grown it back yet, so, he peers at the ceiling, mouth working. 70 years, give or take? I should retire, but there'd be no one left to mind him if I left. What would I do with myself anyway, he thinks. Yeah, well, why do you keep calling your master he? Yeah, everybody talks to them as it. Well, I've worked for him a long time. Guess I stopped seeing him as a thing and more like a him. All of us have our little ways, even him. Yeah. Of course, languages that don't have a genderless pronoun, like it, don't really have this issue. So this is more of a grammatical issue that often comes up. Really, it often comes up, but different languages will have different pronouns for that and just different ways of addressing that. So, for example, in Portuguese, translating this to Portuguese would actually be quite problematic. You'd need to rework the other title so you could, like add in stuff like, oh, that thing, or something like that. So he would have a different line for him. But yeah, so yeah, farewell. Let's have a chat with this guy and see what he is, what he's like. Segments of this bisected construct's legs lie scattered around it. Someone has painstakingly altered these pieces, giving them small limbs and tiny metallic heads. Nonetheless, they aren't moving. The larger construct's green eyes flicker out of sync with each other as they turn towards you. As with the other construct, you feel the bubbling sensation in your mind. The construct's thoughts are likewise unreadable. I do not understand, it says. The voice emerging from the grill around its eyes is soft, as though you are hearing it from far away. Don't they want to leave? The viaducts are open, the commands are received, and yet its eyelids flutter. Every time I give my children life, they die. But you can't have children, you're a machine. I lack the supporting evidence to contradict you effectively, it says, fixing its flat, flickering pupils on you, but I disagree nonetheless. have given the subject of procreation a great deal of thought over the last century, and there are no errors in my calculations. My assistant Tarnish built my children's bodies to my precise specifications. Their intelligence reservoirs are shielded against permanent loss. Its eyes look away from yours as if it is embarrassed. And I want them to leave. That should be enough. Wanting isn't enough, right? Well, you are correct, it says. Nonetheless, the desire persists. Fortunately, a new direction has presented itself.
I'll remember that.
Really? My children need more energy to leave, but my construction prevents me from transfers above a certain threshold, and for good reason. Its pupil rotate, contracting. Energy transfers above a certain percentage would lead to a chain of ruptures in my intelligence rings. I would die. His voice smash clicks. Help me force myself to make this transfer, for I cannot do it myself. Help me give my life to my children. Will you help me? The foreman says. The words are almost buried beneath a crackling surge of static. I think he would be able to make these machines work. Well, right? It actually doesn't make much sense that the machines wouldn't be able to... I mean, he can't have children in the sense of traditional, the whole thing that, but he can make new machines. And I guess, metaphorically speaking, there still are his kids, because, if it's just a different, I guess it's just a machine's kids, right? Just the limitation of our words, really, for children. But I want to help you. How do I begin? Speak to Tarnish, my assistant. He may be able to help you understand how I function if he's feeling well enough. So can I examine you? Yes, it says. Tarnish, open my preservation hatches and viaduct shields, please. The elderly workman shuffles over and does as he's asked. Aligen steps up beside you and gives you a low whistle. I'm not sure I understand everything I'm looking at, but I'll tell you this. Killing this construct's not a job for one person. If you decide to do what it wants, I'll lend you a hand. You've never seen technology like this. Wires pass through glass tubes threaded with pale light and star-speckled darkness. You glance over at Tarnish. He's looking away, arms crossed, as though unwilling to watch a stranger tinker with his master. The vision falls on you like a wave swallowing a swimmer. You approach this foreman, still possessed of its legs, and open the same hatches that Tarnish did. I know it looks complex, the foreman says, but the viaducts are the simplest part. The machine spirit, me that is trickier. Even I don't fully understand it. Me. The vision, machinery lore. I'm not really sure I'm gonna be able to do that. The spirit fades, leaving you standing before the ruin of that once cheerful construct again. Farewell. Okay. So what I want to do over here is make sure... Yeah, I can go back. Okay, good. So before I sleep, I'm gonna need to look at my skills over here. So lore machinery is good for him, but he... So how do I know that? What is that? That thing is... Yes, I know it's trained, but what is it working based on? It should be this. It should be intellect. Yeah. Okay, so he's gonna need to replenish his intellect pool. And I got just the thing. Let's also take a look at these guys' backpacks, because it's a waste to throw things away. Wait a minute, we got extra ciphers. Oh, everybody can have ciphers. That's fantastic. What is this cipher for? Fresh vapors. Heals 10 points of intellect and confers fresh vapors, which adds 1 to edge. What's your maximum? 6. That's not too good. I do have 9 though, don't I? Yes, I do. Okay, so we got intellect things in here. Let's drop that 1. Oh, that's interesting that it went for half. I think it went for half and just rounds up. Okay, so you're gonna need a little bit more. Let's see. Details, use item. This pliable synth container is tightly sealed, holding a swirling purple gas. The purple substance is harvested from a vast structure buried beneath the sands of the beyond, which seems to constantly replenish, though it is hard to gather. If the container is jammed hard against the surface, it becomes permeable, unleashing the gas within. The original purpose of the gas is not known, but when inhaled by a human being, it provides a rush of mental energy. Let's go with that. What? Oh, I need to choose an ally. Okay. Then it's gonna be him. There it is. I was like, what the hell? What's going on? Okay, let's try this now. So, attempt to bypass the foreman's mind and pass its life to its children. Oh, okay, so that's already what I'm doing. Okay. Why do you want children? Let's ask him more. Need, the construct says, not want. Its pupils study the distant ceiling. When I was born, I began working in seconds. I did things until our creators shut down our bodies. In the millennia since, I have focused on designing the infrastructure beneath the other foremen's work and instructing workers on how to execute these designs. Eventually, I realized I was unhappy. From time to time, our workers brought their children to the manufactory, holding their small hands, explaining the mysteries of this place to them. It began as a thought. What would I teach my own children? To be curious, to explore, to ask foolish questions, to see the world above that was there, that we three have never seen. Yeah. And when I thought these things, I saw the shape of my children, outlined by daylight. They already existed. So it's like a simulation, I guess. But still. You seem very dispassionate about your failures to create children. I have been... That's a lot of noise. I've been through 27 iterations of birth. With each attempt, more of my non-essential personality and intelligence rings rupture. Know that these small bodies are only bodies. 27 versions of my children have lived and died within them. Know that they lived long enough for me to understand their personalities and name them before they were purged. Lost. A soft whirring issues from the mesh around the foreman's flickering eyes. So you effectively lost your kids. Why don't you... Why is he dispassionate? Or maybe he's this... Oh, he's grown numb. Huh. I suppose. Maybe. Can you tell me about how you and the other foremen came to be like this? I will not, the foreman says calmly. It is not an era I wish to revisit. Speak with the master foreman instead. Why don't you want to talk about your past? Because the master foreman revels in the past and he will be happy to share it with you. I do not, and would not. Okay, that sounds perfectly acceptable. Let's attempt to bypass the foreman's mind and pass its life to its children. And also an easy way to tell, I didn't see this before, but an easy way to tell if you're actually saying something or if you're doing something is, of course, there's just commas, or inverted commas or quotation marks or whatever those things are called. But yeah, there we go. So let's attempt to bypass the foreman's mind and pass its life to its children. So you can do this. Ooh. You or a companion now have edge in one of your stat pools, granting a discount on using... Yeah, this one is good. On using points from that stat... Oh, it's speed. Huh. Granting a discount on using points from that stat pool, each level of edge grants one free level of effort, boosting your minimum chance of success. When using an ability... Okay, I get that. Okay, so let's see. So, you only have one edge. That's the 30 on base, but this one is 35, so that's better. 75. Please don't fail. I did it. I did it! Working blindly, you jam your hands into the foreman's body, ripping, realigning, and doing untold amounts of damage in your attempts to fulfill the construct's wishes. Eventually, you succeed. Cold energy pours from the air like blood from a wound, flooding into the motionless children. One by one, their tiny eyes flicker into life. One by one, the foreman's eyes go out. Its voice rattles, as if it's going to speak. But it doesn't. It can't. The children watch the death of their parent with wide, glowing eyes. He'd want me to thank you, says Tarnish, the old man, hoarsely. But I ain't. You knew him all of 10 minutes. Known him my entire life, I have. And you came and took him from me. Without a look at his master's children, Tarnish sets off into the dark. Some of the little constructs wander in circles, chirping to themselves. One of them is already making for the exit, and one is motionless, stillborn. Let's take the dead one and let the others go free.
I'll remember that.
You carefully pick up the stillborn construct, cradling it. The rest of the foreman's children chase each other for a few moments longer before following the one heading for the exit. So they're going out in the world. Oh, that's awesome. This little guy is just an oddity. This inert little figure of metal and synth was cobbled together from parts of the crippled foreman, making it one of the construct's children. With your help, the foreman transferred some of its energy into the little creature, but for some reason, it never came to life. Alliger grunts. That was a good thing you did, kid. And this guy's popping. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was a good thing I did. I really did. I really do. What is this thing over here? Energies from this massive engine are channeled into metal pipes. Oh, that's cool! That's a ladder! Oh, that's so cool! Sent below ground and distributed throughout underbelly. That is so cool right there. Oh my god, that is so awesome. Let's see if these guys say anything now that I killed their friend. I guess, well, he probably doesn't mind too much. And the other one maybe didn't even know he was there. Oh, it's you! The human that helped the under foreman abandon its post. Little loss, I'd say. Not much impact on the schedule. But try not to kill any more of us. Yeah. Yes, stay clear of the forge. What about this guy? I'm sure he's gonna have a different attitude towards that. Unless he might not have known he was there. Ah, hello! This is difficult to say, but thank you for helping under foreman. I would have done the same if I could. Oh, you knew. Huh. What can I do for you? Nothing. Farewell, artisan. Oh, go enjoy the sunlight for me. Yep, I think I am. That was quite... I don't know, that was really interesting. It's sad and beautiful at the same time. That was pretty awesome. I like that. I like that very much. Anyway, we're out of time for the day, so let's continue this tomorrow. How about that? Next episode. For now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment, Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Oh boy, that was... leave a comment down below. Tell me what you felt about that. Leave a like if you enjoy it, but above all, thank you so much for watching and for sharing with me, because I'm sharing this with you, yes, but you're also sharing the experience with me, so thank you so much, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.